So we just have a bit of a look here about the linear function. So the equation of a line. Not going to go too in-depth at this stage, but what we do know is, of course, all straight lines can be written in the form y equals mx plus b. Hopefully you remember that. Where the coefficient of x turns out to be the slope of the line, and b turns out to be the y-intercept. Another way we tend to write it is in what we call general form. And that's when we just take everything to one side and make it equal to 0. Now, they can get a little bit paranoid about this, some teachers, I must admit, where they insist, have you had this, where they insist A has to be positive? It doesn't have to be, but it just looks neater. So yeah, I'll agree with that. I like A to be positive. But the other thing they say is that it has to be an integer. Have you had that told to you? Okay. And so that's what I've written there. But no, notice I put something else. Just say the slope was the square root of 3. How would you write it in general form where A, B and C are integers? It's impossible because we know we can't write the square root of 3 as a fraction where top and bottom are integers. It's impossible. So yes, integers would be lovely, but if we can't do that, obviously we might have to write it as a surd to do that. All right, here we go. Equation of a line perpendicular to y equals 5x minus 2, passing through 0, 6. 0, 6. That would be the y-intercept. Okay, so we've got b. We just need to work out the slope. Gosh, if only there was a clue there that told us what the slope was. Can anyone see a clue? Hang on, but that's that line. What does it mean for our line? I mean, the slope of that one's 5. And what will we get? Voila! So we know the slope that we want is negative 1 on 5. We've been told the y-intercept is 0, 6. So we get minus 1/5 x plus 6, but hang on a sec. They've said write it in general form. So we'll multiply everything by 5, bring it to the other side, there we are. X plus 5y minus 30 equals 0. Two very special lines. And they are ones that, first of all, parallel to the x-axis. Because how do you put that in y equals mx plus b form? I mean, what's the slope of a line parallel to the x-axis? 0. Right. So when you go y equals mx plus b, well, m is 0, so you get 0x, and you just end up with y equals b, or in this case, c. And so there's our horizontal lines. Okay. What about vertical lines? So it's a bit hard to do it in y equals mx plus b form because we don't have a y-intercept. Works if it happens to be the line x equals 0, because then we've got a y-intercept. In fact, every point's the y-intercept for that. But it's a bit hard to see it when we haven't got that one. Like every point on that line has the same x value. So of course the equation is x equals 3. All right, so there are two special lines, horizontal lines and vertical lines. That'll do us.